this person is blocking my career. Can he remember a time where he didn't feel like he had autonomy? Other people were maybe dictating things for him, or not allowing him to develop and grow and have these insights and take risks.
I would also recommend the seeking other people's perspective, because it may just be, even though this is how you are feeling, the other person is presenting in a particular way. Your interpretation of that is not based on an objective viewpoint, it's based on history. Hello and welcome to the Therapy Floor with Dr. Ritz and Dr. Vicky.
We are on the floor getting deep into the human experience, unpacking people's everyday dilemmas through the lens of two psychologists.
Let's start unpacking today's dilemmas.
So this comes in from a male in his 40s, and he is saying, I work with someone that I really struggle to get along with. They disagree with my ideas, block my initiatives, and undermine me. It feels like they are blocking my career. How can I take control of my feelings of frustration and resentment to this person?
This is a good one. This is a juicy one.
He's not said much, but I think he said a lot.
He said a lot. I was thinking those are some strong words there. Like, someone is undermining you, they are blocking your career. There is frustration, there is resentment. Okay, I would say to this individual, frustration is there for a reason, anger is there for a reason. Even though we feel the experience of anger and frustration isn't pleasant, it doesn't mean that the emotion is wrong or bad. Anger can actually be very helpful, because it lets you know that something isn't working for you. And we tend to feel anger when we feel disrespected, when we feel hurt, abused, betrayed. So it's a useful emotion, because then we can move forward in action. But how we respond is very important in order to avoid being aggressive or passive aggressive. We want to be assertive in voicing our frustration and our anger. So I would start with, have you had a conversation with this individual? Or even if you don't feel ready to have a conversation with this individual, I think maybe you could have a conversation with someone else who has eyes on the situation. And I say this not to gaslight you and to invalidate your feelings, but sometimes it's helpful to have some perspective, because sometimes actually, whilst we should pay heed to our feelings, we shouldn't always take them as gospel and as fact and as truth. So objectively, what does this situation look like to other people? Are they seeing what you're seeing? I think that helps. It helps you first to clarify, okay, is what I'm feeling actually happening? Is my interpretation correct or incorrect? If it's correct, great. Now, if someone else can back that up, how can we move forward with having a conversation with this individual about how you're feeling and about how you are viewing the situation? Are they aware that this is how their behavior is being perceived? It's important that, you communicate that and you don't continue to allow someone to almost have the power of your future. It's not right. It's not like the phrase, this deeply upset me. The phrase, they're blocking your career. Oh my goodness, no one should have the right or the power to block anything of yours. So I'm really like in there with you with the feelings of frustration, and I want to help you think about gaining some clarity and perspective on this, and then really taking that information, which is your emotion, and moving forward intentionally and assertively to ascertain what's going on with this other individual.
And I think those are really, really good ideas. I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Go on then. I trust you to do that. I trust you.
So what if this person he's got, let's say, like some sort of history, or he's tried to have communication. Because what he is saying, like, I'm struggling with this person now.
Yeah.
The struggle's already there. So that makes me feel like actually the communication's already broken down.
Yeah.
If the struggle's already there.
Yeah.
So if that communication is already broken down and that person isn't even, let's say, willing, because I think that often happens, doesn't it, in workplace settings?
Yeah.
Where you're struggling with someone, they're not even willing to have a conversation with you. Like, they just think they are outright right, and that they do believe that they are that powerful. You know, sometimes it could be a peer, sometimes it could be a senior.
True.
How do they get through that part of it?
Okay.
Because I guess I would be wanting to think about putting the onus back on this individual.
Yeah. It sounds like that's what they want to do as well.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want to feel like they can control
Yeah, because they're feeling
their
quite out of
feelings of
control.
frustration. So I don't know if my advice is going to necessarily be a psychologist's advice. I would like to help this person feel like they can empower themselves, and sometimes we need to realize how far we can go and where our limits are. And we need to ascertain what are our values in this situation. What are our priorities? Because you could say to yourself, or I could say to you, okay, maybe you just need to accept that this is who this person is, and that is how they behave in a work situation. And rather than taking it personally, just accept that you're always going to come against backlash. You're always going to not feel undermined, but you're always going to feel someone pushing against you and trying to pull you back, and continue to feel, I don't know, like you have, push forward with the courage to be persistent in your goal, which is I'm going to succeed. I'm gonna progress in this career regardless of what someone else is saying or doing. And when they push, I'm just going to push back too. I could say that. But alternatively, if your value or your priority is your mental health and your well-being and your peace of mind, and you find that despite having conversations, this person is persistent in how they want to behave, and no one else is checking them, which can happen also.
Because often what happens is I think people get afraid.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's why sometimes these behaviours keep happening in workplace settings.
No one wants to confront the bully.
Yeah.
Or the person who has more leverage.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to ascertain whether this is the right environment for you. That's why I say it may be a bit controversial, because
I think that's a really fair comment, actually.
Okay, it's like I'm advocating for you to leave, but I'm advocating for you to decide what are your priorities, what are your values. If your value maybe is financial security at this time, okay, we can see that actually staying is the most beneficial thing for you right now, and there will have to be a way of tolerating and accepting that this is just how the situation is. If nothing is going to change, this person's going to change, the work culture isn't going to change. But if your values are peace, mental stability, mental well-being, feeling a sense of like a supportive work environment, then maybe you need to rethink, how can I move out of this situation and into something that will better support my needs right now? It's not going to be easy, but it's a difficult question to pose.
And I don't think that either one of those is right or wrong.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying there. To think about your values is so important. And they're going to change at different points in our lives. So, like in your 20s, financial stability might be one of your top values. But then in your 40s or your 50s, it might not be. It might be more things like spirituality or recreation or connection. And I feel like with values, it's always really important to use them as a guide.
Yeah.
Use them as that compass that give you that direction and give you that purpose. And to keep checking in with yourself, am I living my life in line with what my purpose is, with what my values are, rather than this is the goal that I need to meet right now in this career or in this relationship, whatever it might be. I really like what you said there about actually you need to maybe go a bit inwards and think about what your values are.
Yeah.
Before you maybe decide how you need to handle the situation.
Yeah.
I would also be encouraging this guy to think about, the reaction that he's having to this colleague is quite strong. It sounds like on paper, it was quite visceral, wasn't it, as I was reading it?
Yeah.
Which gives me and my psychology mind a bit of like ding, 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 ding. Like, I wonder who this person could be in this person's life previously or still.
Yeah.
Like, why is he having such a strong reaction to this person? Who is he reminding him of?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who else has maybe treated him in a similar way that's made him feel... He feels quite small in comparison to this other person who seems quite large.
Yep. And who has a lot of control and say and power over him.
And often, there's something here about a lack of autonomy almost. Like, this person is blocking my career.
Yeah.
And can he remember a time where he didn't feel like he had autonomy? That, maybe other people were maybe dictating things for him or pressuring him to, think a certain way or stifling his ideas and not allowing him to develop and grow and have these insights and take risks. And
yeah. I think that's a good point, and that's why I would also recommend the seeking other people's perspectives, because it may just be that even though this is how you are feeling, or maybe this is, the other person is presenting in a particular way, your interpretation of that is not based on an objective viewpoint, it's based on history.
Yeah.
And so what you're really responding to is the person in your past, not necessarily this individual. But it could be the case actually that this is history repeating itself. And if I were also to play devil's advocate, as a psychologist sat in the room with this individual, I'd want to be gleaning, how does this person show up and how do other people respond to them? So I'd really be paying attention to how I feel in the room with this individual. How am I meeting them in the room? Will that give some clue as to why this dynamic plays out? If I'm sat in the room with this person, do I feel like I want to control them? Do I want to put them down? Do I get frustrated or impatient with them? Then I think that gives further clue into, okay, what role are you taking in life? Like, how are you showing up in your own life?
So maybe some sort of people pleasing going on there.
Yeah. Or like a need to kind of like be subservient and to bring himself down. I think that is also an important part of this discussion that that doesn't necessarily jump out straight away.
No. And because he's not actually said that much, has he?
No.
Which is
no.
It allows us to
pick holes or to go a bit further.
Yeah. But that in itself is quite telling. Like, he's not given us that much, and so it's already feeling quite small. Like, like you said, how is he presenting himself? What role is he taking on? Who is he with other people? Is he somebody that tends to give more space to other people and then so has learnt, because he gives more space to other people, to create less space for himself, to make himself smaller?
Yeah. Interesting one.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on him?
To the point where I said I wonder also about this person, how they present. I wonder how they deal with conflict as well and how they have previously managed it with this person at work, but also previously.
Like personal life as well.
Yeah, personally, like what is conflict? Is conflict okay?
Yeah.
Is it okay to be in conflict? Is it okay to be confronted with someone who has different opinions to you, has a different viewpoint? Or does it seem like other people, when they are themselves and they take up space, that is an affront to you because you're not doing it yourself? So yeah, I'd also want to know a bit more about that.
Yeah, because I wonder if there's something in that as well. Like, as somebody is taking up more space, how does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Is there like anger, which obviously it sounds like there is, but is that anger passive?
Yeah.
Or is that anger like loud?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to take up more space then.
Yeah, I'm going to compete.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, with this and every other dilemma or anything really that we struggle with, when we are looking at another person and we're thinking, gosh, like I have a problem with this behavior or this that this is what I'm seeing in another person, it's always to go inwards. I'm really being distracted by that.
Aeroplane.
I know.
Apologies. It's just gone round and round and round today, hasn't it?
All through my house. We've had to deal with our own frustration and lack of control.
It's been testing us.
It has, a lack of control over this situation. But anyway.
We wanted to create certainty.
Yeah.
And it did not go to plan.
It didn't go to plan. And we had to push through regardless.
Tolerated.
Yeah, tolerated the distress.
Sorry, I feel so distracted. Can you repeat that?
Okay. Can I remember it?
I don't know.
Daddy's question. Oh yeah, I know what I was saying. So we always want to come back to, going inside, and you can't control another person. You can ask people to change, you can ask people to adapt, but ultimately it's good to go inwards.
And I think sometimes the default for people is when we're feeling unsettled, we often try and control outside of ourselves, be it the situation or other people, their behaviours. If only they would do this, this and this, then that would make me feel better. That would make me manage better.
Exactly.
And I mean, we can't control anyone. We can't control any type of situation. You know, it really is about that. If you notice yourself doing that, going out, come back in, keep pulling yourself back in, go inwards, go deeper, use this as information. What is it telling about you? What is it triggering inside you? Discomfort is good. Like, we don't need to shy away from discomfort. You know, it's not all about always being positive and happy. Like, I just don't like that sort of stuff. Use your discomfort as a curiosity mechanism to think deeper about yourself. And, this is why we're on the floor. This is what this really is about.
Yeah. Getting down to the nuts and bolts.
Yeah. Going inwards and going deep.
Oh, okay. I feel like we've really gone deep today.
We have, haven't we? If you guys learnt today, we would love to know. What do you take away? Drop us a comment down below. Just remember to please like and subscribe and follow us on our social media channels. This is Dr. Ritz
and Dr. Vicky.
and we'll see you on the floor very, very soon.
Bye.
Bye.